We've made it into whatever chapter this is. What number? Technically 10. Doesn't matter because we're doing them out of order. Regardless, we're on to the next of the river civilizations. Early China, except for China, it's not the Nile River, it's not the Tigris or the Euphrates, it's the Huang River, the Yellow River. We're going to talk about why it's called the Yellow River, especially in Lesson 1 when we go over sort of your quintessential geography of China and why it ended up the way it did. Starts off with there's a lot of warring kingdoms throughout the history of China, and we start to have dynasties form. We sort of have that early history covered in Lesson 1. Yeah, the Zhao, the Shang, places like that, sort of that early development. We get into some war between the states and technology. Lesson 2 is fun. We learn about all kinds of Chinese philosophies. So we talk about Buddhism and how Buddhism got into China. We talk about Taoism, so like where the yin yang comes from, that's in there. And legalism, this sort of harsh philosophy supported by the aristocracy and bureaucracy. There was a lot of bureaucracy problems in some days of Chinese history, and they end up with a civil service exam so they don't just have rampant cronyism in the Chinese government. We'll talk a little bit about that. That means that like so and so gets hired not because they're good at their job, but because they're so and so's nephew. So they had some problems, and then lesson 3 we talk about the Qin and Han dynasties, and that's sort of, I'm not going to say it leads us up to today, but I mean with the Qin, that's how China got its name. We talk a little bit about the Silk Road and some fine Chinese goods that the world wants, even really kind of to this day. It's a fascinating chapter, I would say. Of the river civilizations, I enjoyed learning the most about ancient China the first time I went through it. Hey, we even talk about acupuncture, so we got that coming for us. This chapter has 3 lessons, so we'll do a vocab intro day, and then a 1 day, a 2 day, a 3 day study guide, and test it. So standard chapter. Thanksgiving break is thrown right in the middle of there. So hey, we'll all enjoy in that. Hopefully get some nice turkey and stuffing in our bellies and enjoy a nice 4-day weekend. So that's what we're looking at with early China. Go ahead and move on to your vocab assignment. Let's take a gander real quick, shall we? Put in all the nice new pictures for you. I'm gonna put a video in there for you, and you know what? I'll explain the assignment in the next video on the next page. Alright, I'll see you on the other side.